So you're thinking about preparing for pregnancy. You're probably doing all the right things, right? Making a checklist, getting your lab tests done, and then you get the results back and they say, normal. And you think, great, I'm good to go. But what if I told you that checklist is actually missing the most important part of the story? What if normal just isn't enough?
Yeah, let's just get right to it with the big question. Are those normal lab results really enough to get you ready for pregnancy? The short answer is a hard no. And today we're going to break down exactly why that is and what you should really be looking for instead.
You see, the goal isn't just to be normal. The real goal is to be ready. And pregnancy, well, it's one of the most demanding things a body can ever go through. Seriously, it's like signing up for an ultramarathon without knowing it. It demands a ton of resources, rock-solid stability, and incredible teamwork between all of your body's systems.
And this gets to the heart of a huge misconception. You know, a lot of pregnancy-related issues can feel like they just pop up out of nowhere, but that's not what's happening. The truth is, they often show up because the body was already running on fumes, just operating at its absolute limit. Pregnancy is just the thing that finally exposes that lack of reserves.
So, this brings us to the real problem, and it might surprise you. It's not that we aren't doing enough tests. The problem is that the way your lab work is usually interpreted is, frankly, fundamentally flawed, especially when it comes to women's physiology.
Standard lab tools fail us in three really critical ways. First, they use these generic, one-size-fits-all reference ranges that just weren't designed for us. Second, they totally ignore the dynamic, ever-changing context of our hormones. And third, and this is a big one, they look at each number in isolation. It's like trying to understand a symphony by just listening to a single violin note. You miss the entire, beautiful, complex story.
So, if we're not supposed to be asking, are my numbers normal, what's the right question? Well, it's about shifting our entire mindset. We need to move away from a simple pass-fail grade and toward a much, much deeper understanding of what our bodies are truly capable of. This is it. This is the question that changes everything. Can the body sustain increased demand without breakdown? It's not about one marker being in range. It's about your body's resilience as a whole system. Does your body actually have the reserves, the stability, to handle the 9-month marathon of pregnancy?
So how in the world do we answer a question like that? Well, we can do it by looking at 5 key system indicators. Now, I want you to think of these not as a checklist, but as signals. Signals that when you read them together tell you the true story of your body's readiness.
We're going to walk through each of these 5 systems. We're talking about your blood and immune balance, your protein and repair capacity, your true iron reserves, your liver's detox load, and of course, your thyroid, the master energy regulator. So let's dive into the first one.
All right, first up, the complete blood count, or CBC. This is so much more than just a check for anemia. It's really a window into how well your body is delivering oxygen, the balance of your immune system, and any hidden low-grade inflammation that might be simmering under the surface. Even tiny shifts here can be a clue that your system is already working way too hard just to keep things stable.
Next up, total protein. Think of this as the actual pile of bricks and lumber your body's construction crew has to work with. It's your capacity to build new tissue and repair old stuff. If your levels are even a little on the low side, it's a huge sign that your body is already in a state of chronic underrepair, and that's a deficit that pregnancy will expose almost instantly.
Okay, number 3 is ferritin. And please hear this. This is not the same as your regular iron level or your hemoglobin. Ferritin measures your body's iron storage tank, your backup supply. So many women have normal hemoglobin but are running on totally empty ferritin tanks. And since pregnancy drains those reserves like crazy, knowing your true storage level beforehand is absolutely non-negotiable. Fourth, we have to look at liver enzymes. These little markers tell us how hard your liver is working, its metabolic and detox load. Think about it. If your liver is already stressed out from, life, toxins, stress, diet, before you even get pregnant, the huge hormonal shifts of pregnancy are just going to silently amplify that strain on the whole system.
And finally, number 5, the thyroid panel. Your thyroid is the master regulator. It controls your energy, your metabolism, your other hormones, and is absolutely vital for fetal development. Just looking at a normal TSH value tells you almost nothing. We need the full picture to know if your thyroid is stable and functional enough to support both you and a growing baby.
Okay, so we've looked at these 5 systems one by one, but the real magic, the key insight, isn't in any single one of them. It's in understanding how they all talk to each other and work together. This is where we stop thinking like it's a checklist and start seeing the body as the incredible, dynamic network it is.
And that's really the big idea here.
Readiness for pregnancy isn't about ticking off a series of boxes. It's a network. It's an orchestra. Every single system has to be in tune and communicating with every other system for the whole performance to come together beautifully.
And this is exactly where the old model just completely falls apart. No standard lab report is going to connect those dots for you. It won't tell you how your low iron reserves are dragging down your thyroid function, or how your immune system's low-grade inflammation is putting a huge strain on your liver. And because those connections are missed, the real risks are missed.
But here's the most powerful part of all of this: the data you need to understand your body's true readiness. It probably already exists in your lab work. This isn't about needing more and more tests. It's about finding a smarter, more holistic, women-centered way to actually read the data you already have, so you can finally see the full picture of your health. The only question is, are you ready to look?